this whole Rangers Padres unwritten rules thing has really got me pissed off, to be honest. Here, I can't believe this has been a thing that Fernando Tatis getting blamed for swinging at a horrible 3-0 pitch and hitting a grand slam for it. I think he should be congratulated, which seems like most people are, except for the managers. But it has got me thinking here. What do you guys think are actual unwritten rules in baseball that do matter? You know, to quote Alex Bregman, how the game polices itself. I like that one a little bit. You know, maybe don't steal when you're up by 10 runs, but if you want to hit grand slams on 3-0 pitches, by all means. Would love to hear you guys' thoughts.
Yes, we knew this call was coming. Unwritten rules that we do like. I found a website with a bunch of unwritten rules, and turns out I like a lot of them.
Okay.
I don't like the 3-0 one because that's, hurting. We'll see where I land and why we land places, I guess. Don't steal bases when you're up by a large margin. I do think there is a number where you can take it base to base. I don't think it calls for getting thrown at or anything crazy, but I think it just looks bad if you're the player.
Well, I go back and forth on this one because obviously if you're doing that at that point of the game, there's a couple things you could be trying to do. One, pad your stats. That's the most likely. Get a stolen base for free. The other could be like trying to get into scoring position for your boy at the plate. But if you wanted to counter that, and if you're the team losing by a ton of runs or the team winning by a ton of runs, just don't cover the base. It's not a stolen base if there's no intent to throw.
Yeah.
It's catcher's indifference. Don't give the guy what he wants then. Like, I don't know. I'm like totally indifferent on them because I don't think it affects the game whatsoever.
It just feels like a mutual handshake all around. Like, teams don't steal as much anymore. If it's a blowout, like, let's go base to base. You don't want to get hurt. Like, maybe that's me watching too many Yankee games, but like, just don't.
If I'm a base stealer and you're holding me on and you pick over one time, I will attempt to steal a base.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Don't you dare pick over and then get mad at me for stealing a base.
That's fair.
That's totally fair. All right,
should be in the rules.
This is a very tricky one because it's not actually gameplay. It's just kind of your own clubhouse. Interested to hear how you feel about this one, Trev. If you're a reliever or a pitcher and you get pulled, you have to stay in the dugout till the inning ends and watch how it unfolds. Now, I like that. Now,
That's not an unwritten rule. That's just like, don't be a PUSSY.
Yeah, but I think that goes in the unwritten territory where where a teammate would be like, hey, we don't do that. That's kind of how you police unwritten rules.
Yeah, because you support your team. I've had this happen in my clubhouse before. It caused a big riff, almost a fist fight. That is something that has nothing to do with the actual game, score, anything. That's just respect, bro. You made this mess. Now go support the guy that's trying to get you out of it.
Yeah. In theory,
that one's doesn't really seem like an unwritten rule. That's just like
it's like you're starting to get it's almost off the field unwritten rules too. Like
there's a bunch of those. Yeah. It's a combo, so be ready for.
Okay. I think 100% you have to stay out there and watch how the inning goes.
Yeah. Don't step on the pitcher's mound. That's the Dallas Braden one. And who else got mad at that recently? The guy who eats lizards. Michaelis.
Who cares,
I don't care about that one. I don't even get it.
Get over it.
What about this one, Trev? Don't walk in front of the catcher. Now, everyone does this. When you go across the plate, you walk behind the catcher and behind the ump to the other batter's box. If you're on the third base dugout, but you're a lefty, you go behind. You don't walk in front. Everyone does this. No one walks in front. So when you think about it, I don't know if this is just kind of like dogs lift their leg to pee because they see other dogs lift their leg to pee and there's no other reason it does it. Is this something that you're told? Is it just kind of happenstance? No, everyone walks behind the ump and the catcher.
I'm thinking about it now, dude. I have no idea. I would walk behind just so it's like a longer walk because you got to feel yourself a little bit. You hear your walk-up song a little bit longer if you do that. But maybe it has something to do with, like, if there's runners on and you can interfere with play. If you walk in front, you might be in fair territory. I've never even heard this one.
This article says, I think they're just bullshitting because every batter does do it. They walk behind. Okay. They say hi to the catcher, hi to the ump. It's interesting. I don't know if that's an unwritten rule or just kind of how it goes, but It'd be
Never
interesting
heard
to
of
see
that
a guy walk in front because I think it would be a little bit jarring. Or maybe I'll
Do you want
notice
me to
now.
tell
Maybe it
somebody
happens.
too?
What's that?
I'll tell somebody. Walk in front.
Yeah.
I wonder if guys do it accidentally too. I don't know.
I think there's definitely guys that walk in front because they give like the shin guard tap with the bat, which I think is brutal.
I was thinking about that too, but when
I always
picture
picture
it,
them
you
coming
them
around.
flank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. I've never heard that one.
I've never seen it written down either, but these are unwritten. Don't bunt during a no-hitter. If it's a close game and you're bunting to get on base in a 1-0, 2-0 game, I'm fine with it. But other than that, yeah, don't bunt during a no-hitter.
Dude, I tweeted this yesterday.
Yeah.
Why not?
If it's
Why is the pitcher telling me how to do my job? You do your job. Let me do my job. If I'm a guy that has speed, or even if you're going to play me back, clearly you're playing me back for a defensive advantage. You're going to shift for a defensive advantage for you. Don't tell me what I can do with the bat. I'll bunt whenever the fuck I want to bunt. You do your job, I'll do mine.
all right, I think if you're like Buxton and you have speed and it's part of your game.
It don't matter, dude. If they're playing you back, it's for defensive purposes because they want to get you
That's
out.
a good point. It's a really good point.
The normal view when you think about it is from like a fan perspective, kind of with Trev.
Yeah.
Dude, it's all like a lot of these unwritten rules. They only favor the pitcher, and that's my problem with them. Give me an unwritten rule that favors the hitter.
I don't know. This next one's not even. It says never make the first or third out of the inning at third base. That's just a strategic. That's not really an unwritten rule. It's just.
Yeah, that's.
I think that got debunked too, like with analytics.
I think want to be
and
aggressive,
stats.
and I guess I get it, but like you still want to be aggressive.
Don't make the second out.
They're getting into
at
strategy
third
now.
base either.
Now that said, don't use your closer in a tie game on the road. That's just strategy. It's not like a. Oh, what about this? Don't yell anything when an opposing fielder is trying to catch a ball. You saw A-Rod say, "I got it," and then it dropped. This should be allowed.
Yeah,
You're an infielder.
that's
You're an
interesting.
infielder now, so this caters to infielders. It's a loud-ass stadium. Why can't you do this?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't really care because I don't think it would affect me that much. Like that whole I got it thing is kind of that would affect you, I guess. But it's never really happened to me. I don't know how I would feel.
It's not really show.
Because A-Rod did it, I hate it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
For adult fans, if you catch a ball, give it to a kid nearby. I think that one gets harped on too much. Like my dad caught a ball once and wanted to bring it home to my brother, who was like 5 at the time. And the whole crowd was booing him and yelling at him because he didn't give it to the kid next to him. And my dad was like, I have a son that's going to want this ball.
Yeah, I bet.
And everyone was booing him, so.
That's funny.
Can I say this? I think the crowd still had a right to boo him.
It's fun.
Just because you don't know.
If it's all in good fun.
Right.
But some people take that. Some people are assholes.
The world sucks.
Yeah.
When you mentioned the pitcher watching from the dugout, I mean, again, I went into the whole off this field unwritten rules, and it's like you talk to the media after the game because otherwise your guys have to face the media.
Be accountable.
Yeah, so if you start going there, I mean, that feels like its own realm.
This is off the field, and it's kind of stupid. But, now it's like you're a young guy, and you can act like you've got 10 years in the show when you don't. One of the rookies is carrying beer for the bus ride. That's just going to happen no matter what. One of you rookies is going to carry my beer, and when I ask for a beer, you're going to go get it.
Some of that stuff's not like, it's kind of like a little hazing or not hazing.
Just a little hazing. You gotta earn your stripes.
Initiation's the better word. Like the Yankees, the last guy in the bullpen always wore the pink backpack that was full of bubble
stupid
gum.
backpack.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's their job to pack it as well. Make sure there's good snacks in there, Red Bulls, everything you need.
Nice. That's cool. All right. So the only one that affects infielders, Trev was a little iffy on.
I just have never had it happen to me. And the only example I have of it is A-Rod, and I'm like, God, that was stupid.
It used to be one that it was like, don't leave if you walk, don't leave your bat at the plate. Like that's supposed to be a sign of disrespect to the pitcher and catcher. Nobody cares about that anymore because guys wear so much gear and stuff that it's like, hey, if that's where the bat boy comes out. And if you want a funny Google, there's an old ESPN article that opens up and is like, well, some rules still apply. Swinging on a 3-0 count with a monstrous lead is still the most egregious.
Who wrote it?
It's old. Dave Campbell. I don't know. It's like this is how the ESPN website pops up for it.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah, I think,
but the world changes.
So if you're up 10 and you're going station to station, again, favoring the pitcher, and you hit a ball that's a base hit with a runner on second, and usually you'd get an RBI and the coach holds him up because we don't want to hurt the pitcher's feelings. That's a tough one for hitters to swallow. Dude, I just did my job. Any other day, that's an RBI for me, and now I'm just getting those taken away because the pitcher has these feelings. It's all pitcher-based, and it makes me upset.
Screw the pitchers.
Yeah, they openly cheat, and then they have all these rules to tell you when you can do your job and how you can do your job. So I'm over it. I will fight anybody online, not in person, online.